leather gloves, we're slapping in hams. Popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stands. Pink cotton candy, love on a stick. Was chasing the deer that circle the lips. Play ball, play ball. Roll up the bases and smack it right over the wall.
Play ball.
Play ball.
I do like this song.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Laughter Saves Lives live here on Strong Island Television in Paradise Studios in beautiful downtown Massapequa, New York, right by the Lure.
The
The Long
Lure.
Island Railroad.
There it is. Brought to you by Barasch and McGarry, lawyers for the 9/11 community.
You just McGarry. It's McGarry.
McGarry, yeah.
Barasch, McGarry. But you got it just like Richie. Richie goes right in there. We don't miss Richie. You just bang, right?
Where's Richie? Another rash?
No, Richie is, I don't know what he's doing. You know, this is not a priority. You know what I'm saying? It's down on his list. So anything could come up where he goes,
Same
get
thing with my
Roseanne.
show, you know?
He goes, get Roseanne.
Think
It's like
so.
you're just like, I could just, like you're going to be available every time.
I usually am.
Every time. So,
Every
few
time.
things. So I missed a few weeks here because I had the COVID. HIPAA. I can't talk about it. HIPAA. I had the COVID. I had it. Got it from, it was just a friggin' mess. But dad, wife everybody got it, COVID. And I tell you this, I was so tired so many days, you know. But here's how much COVID I had.
Wait, I have a question.
I have an answer.
Do you now, because I COVID is like such a,
Right?
like an old thing now.
Yes, it is.
Do you have to pay for the tests or can you still get them for
No,
free?
you get no, you got to pay for the home test.
Oh,
Yeah,
see?
you got to pay for it.
Oh, okay.
And I went to the doctor also. But here's how much COVID I had. You ever take a COVID test?
Mm-hmm.
What do you do when you take the COVID test? Give me this COVID test.
You
How do you do
stick
it?
that thing up your nose
Okay,
and
then-
dip it in the thing.
Okay, what do you do before that? Before you stick it in your nose, you get. Oh, so what do you do?
And so
What do
your
you?
nose, I don't know. What do you do?
Oh, here's the package. Here's the package. COVID package.
You open it up, you read the directions.
My test went positive when I was reading the directions. That's how much COVID I had. Didn't even stick it on my nose yet. I opened, I read the directions, and the line went across.
Is that how much COVID you had?
The line shone through the package. That's how much
Maybe
COVID I
your
had.
COVID just jumped into the test.
Yeah, hey, Patrick McDonald, what's doing, brother? Every show, it's Johnny Plug time. Patrick McDonald, we love you, brother. He was here a few weeks ago.
What?
Came from Jersey to be on the show.
Whoa, that's fantastic.
So checking out a bunch of assisted care facilities for my dad, potentially. Very
Or as
stressful
he
time.
likes to call them, an institution.
It's an institution you put me in. Very stressful time. But I went to one today. I'm not going to say any names, the name of the place, right? But it rhymes with Listel. And they were like, yeah, it's $8,000 plus if you need medication, it's $1,000 a pill that we have to give it to them.
It's insane.
And it was this place was crazy because there was so many
No,
sides.
they're
These
all insane like that. I
not
don't
not
know
all of them.
where they
Not
get
all of them.
off ripping off old people like that.
I don't know,
It's
but
wrong.
it's very stressful. And yeah, so I'm going through all
So
of
he's
that.
going to come live with you then?
No,
You're going to go live with him?
no, that would be no.
Well, listen, I am in, I do have to pay for a wedding coming up, and
Right.
I am in the market for a job. So you want me to be his caretaker?
Oh, I would love. He would love that. Are you kidding me? He would love that. It's a lot of work. It's it's just a stressful time to go through. It was a veteran. He brought up
He's
a
proud.
family. He worked 2 jobs for years. He deserves the best. And when you're putting him in a rehab place or whatever, it's like you got to be there all the time. They're not being. if there's not an advocate there,
They're not as attentive as
No.
you would be. That's
So,
the thing.
it's exhausting. It's exhausting. So the
So
big guy,
I
Giovanni.
Yeah, I always hold that over Judy's head.
Yeah.
I'll put you in. Swear to God, I'll put you in.
My kids have been holding me over that head, over my head like 5 years ago.
Listen, since you took a breath, you put out a little bit of misinformation there. You can still get free COVID tests by going on the internet and getting them from the government. They will still send you 4 of them for free.
Oh,
And by the time you get them, your COVID is over.
Well,
no, get them ahead of time.
The idea is to order them ahead of time so you have them in the house.
Ladies and
Not gonna do
gentlemen,
it.
go on the Laughter Saves Laughs website. Look up Butch's email. Butch will order COVID tests for anybody that is interested.
No, but you know what? I'm gonna have our master of graphics and the internet. I'll have him put a link on the Laughter Saves Lives website.
Thank you, Butch.
That is
That's a great idea.
That's what we're here for. Laughter Saves Lives.
And COVID tests.
Thank
for
you,
free.
Butch.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's not see you again though till the end. I got my little things out. So I needed my shed redone. My shed.
Why?
Because it was a mess. It was old. It was all rotted.
Oh.
There were creatures in it. I always say to my kids something like, "Yeah, go get your bike. Just watch. There's a rat. I saw a rat and a big bug. And they'll be like, "Oh, not riding the bike." So that's why everybody in my family is very chubby because we can't exercise. That's not true.
Because
That's not true.
stuff lives in our
That's not true.
shed.
So they ripped it apart and put all new walls away. And my daughter says, "How much are they charging you to paint the outside of the shed and the floor I wanted painted?" It was
Right.
like $1,400. It's a lot of money. She says, "I will do it."
Which daughter is this?
Christina Marie. She goes, "I'm going to come. It's very therapeutic. I will do it." I wanted my shed painted gray or beige, but they gave me a gray shed. It is mostly gray with lines of beige. Then she wanted to paint the floor and the shelves. I don't need the shelves painted. Then she wanted to prime the shelves. And it's another $100. It's another $100. So we're up to about $1,400, I think.
And it's
not painted.
It's not such a sucker.
Well, you know what? She wanted to do it. I thought it'd be a dad and girl thing, me sitting inside yelling out the window, "How you doing?" Nice little dad and girl
You missed the
thing.
spot.
Yeah, so that's that. So what your daughter is where?
My daughter is in Norway,
Mhm.
Bridget. Yes, she's an occupational therapist, and she is there treating a patient
In Norway.
in Norway. So she had to travel with all of her equipment that she needed, and they do a lot of brain retraining and laser therapies.
So a lot of equipment that she had to bring?
Not a lot, because they do other exercises and stuff, and they do stuff on a laptop. But yeah, this family flew her to Norway.
So I co-hosted their show before our show.
Yes.
And I am on the Adderall. Did I pronounce that right?
Yes.
Adderall today. So Roseanne didn't know what to expect.
No, I knew exactly what to
And
expect.
I spoke a lot.
You did, but it was great.
Told a lot
It
of
was great.
stories. A lot of stories.
We needed stories.
Yeah,
we needed them.
and her mother is a sweetheart. I love hanging with Judy.
Yeah, she's outside now. She wanted to watch the show, but she's outside talking to her man.
Oh, on the phone?
Yes.
All right. You know what? Because Butch gets all bent out of shape. What I'm going to do?
Go ahead.
What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to do our flyers, so we make sure we get them. Bobby, can we do our flyers? So we got a few shows coming up. I want to say the big show. Next Friday night, Roseanne's on it, John Santo, Les Deegan, big headliner, John Ziegler. It's a family in need in the Belmore area. They lost their home. They lost their husband during this whole process. They are not going to be able to move back into their home, which means they're kind of without a home. Now, I'm sure they have places to live, a family, but I'm just thinking about the kids not back in their home and don't have their father. It's got to be a terrible time for them.
Yes.
So we're going to do this comedy show, raise some money for them to hopefully help them a little bit. I don't know how much we're going to be able to raise, but I look at these nights as threefold. We're doing a show to help people in memory of my guys that were lost on 9/11. I'll never, ever forget, right? So we're doing that. We're bringing friends and family in the room all together to support this family.
Yep.
That's got to be cool to see where people are there. And then
you're
raise a few
helping-
bucks.
You're helping a family in need.
Now you kind of you blew through it a little fast. Explain exactly what happened. We have another 4 minutes. Explain what happened, John.
Well, I did it quickly. The family had a fire. They had to leave the home and move into a rental, which the insurance company was covering. And then as they were in the rental, the dad/husband passed away, had a heart attack. The construction was a mess. She didn't know really what was going on. One thing led to the next, and the construction was not being done on their old house in time. And the insurance company said, rental's up at the end of the month. So now she's got to either pay the mortgage and the rental or live with somebody or whatever. So we're trying to help her get a few bucks that will help her with the construction.
Nice.
And it was a rush show because she needs the money now. It's not something I normally like to do a month.
But if you're not doing anything next Friday night,
come
to the Presbyterian Church in Belmore. The flyer is on Laughter Saves Lives website, and come. It's a good cause.
Can we do a pickleball segment, please? Come on, Roseanne. Take that ball. Take and throw it up. Bing! All right, ladies and gentlemen, the pickleball season ended this week with Johnny L not there. We went 0-3, ended up in 16th place. Fastinka. But the bottom line is, had a lot of fun this season, met some new people, and every Monday night, I'm in the car with my daughter, driving out there 35, 40 minutes. I'm speaking to her. She's texting her boyfriend. It's a beautiful time for us. Then we get out there, and I'm warming up like an idiot, and she's sitting there gabbing again to somebody. She doesn't warm up at all. And then we have a beautiful night laughing.
She's young. She doesn't need to warm up.
I know.
She's young, and I have not played pickleball since I played on that league, and our team came in dead last.
But the week before last week, we had 2 fill-in players because of the COVID, and the daughter was doing something with the boyfriend, and who filled in? Our first guest? Our second guest tonight.
Second guest.
We'll talk a little more about that later. So what we're going to do is we are going to go to a break, and we'll be back with our first guest, Tilly Conklin. I never even asked her how to pronounce her last name.
I think
we'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
If you spent time downtown on 9/11 or in the 8 months after, you were exposed to toxic air and may be eligible for compensation from the $10 billion 9/11 Victim Fund. But most people who qualify still haven't claimed what they're entitled to.
I worked downtown. I didn't die. I was an office worker. I felt like there were others who deserved the money more than I did.
A major reason people haven't claimed the money they're due is guilt. They feel guilty claiming funds when others died or were first responders.
I heard there were 9/11 funds, but because I wasn't a first responder, I did not apply.
You do not have to be a first responder to qualify. This fund was created for everyone who worked, lived, or attended school south of Canal Street, who may have experienced or have experienced respiratory illness or any of the 68 cancers linked to the toxins. Even if you have a family history of cancer, there is a presumption linking most cancers to the toxins.
I thought it was too late to make a claim. My spouse worked downtown at a bank and died of cancer. Honestly, I just haven't felt up to it.
The government's $10 billion Victim Fund and Health Program have been permanently extended. You just need to have been below Canal Street on 9/11 or at any time in the following 8 months. To see if you qualify, call or go to 911fund.com to speak to a representative of Barasch and McGarry, lawyers for the 9/11 community.
There are many reasons people who are eligible for compensation are not stepping up to claim it. To those who are holding back, I would say just take the first step. Ask for help. Make the call. It's not too late.
I called and I qualified.
I qualify.
I qualify.
Millions of dollars remain unclaimed. You do not have to be seriously ill to qualify.
Are we back yet?
And we're
Oh,
back.
now.
We're back now.
Is it when the picture comes up or when this picture comes up?
It's when
the logo?
we come up. We're back.
Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, our first guest tonight, I met her on Facebook. And this is why when you talk about Facebook and everybody says Facebook, it's a wonderful place sometimes. This young lady lost her dad on 9/11. She's a very, very interesting. And I'm going to bring her on, but I'm going to use her full name that I should have looked at, Tilly Geidel Conklin. Tilly, get out here.
Hello.
Yeah. How are you, Miss Tilly?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. The typical guy I was yesterday with you is that I'm in the middle of a million things and I go, let me video call Tilly. Do you like when somebody surprises you with a bit? No. So and Tilly, what happened? I think I back.
I hear my phone ringing. I have a mask on my forehead with like retinol stuck on my forehead. I hear my phone ringing. I have my hair in a towel. I'm like, what is happening? I can't answer this right now. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get really.
Nope.
I'm like, no, I have to get ready really quick. I got ready so fast. I'm like,
but you did. You got back and you looked lovely, and it was a few minutes only. So I appreciate that. Your father worked in the FDNY for how many years before he was lost on 9/11?
20.
20 years he did.
Mm-hmm.
And I know the face because I was on the jab, as we say, right on the jab.
The jab.
His dad was on the job, and he sounded like. Listening to some of the videos, a very, very funny, interesting guy.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
Now, can you tell us a time? Now, did you grow up? You were how old? Because she looks.
Oh, she looks
very
young.
She's not.
I'm reading here that she met her now husband at 14 and married him at 20. I'm like, wait, she's not 14 right now.
That's what I said. I would never ask a woman her age. How old are you?
I'm 29. I will be 30 this fall.
Can you believe that?
My daughter's age.
I
My
know.
daughter's. When is your birthday?
November 25th.
Okay, my daughter's in September. So.
All right. So tell us about your childhood. What you remember about that in the fire department?
So I had a really great childhood. I lived on Staten Island in Tottenville. That was when it was still like a very woodsy area. I lived right off the beach. The Christmas parties at the firehouse were always the best. That was like the most magical thing. They always had Rescue 1 did a little bit differently than everyone else. They had the reindeers up on the roof with Santa Claus and everything. And oh my God, that was like my favorite thing. The Christmas parties, they were so magical. Yeah, I went to school, the same elementary school my dad did. I'm like, I think it was the 4th generation to go to the same elementary school.
Wow.
And then, we're.
It's
really
crazy. There's a lot of cops and firefighters, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My aunt was a cop, too. She's retired, my mom's sister. So, actually, my aunt and my dad had worked 11 minutes apart, her precinct from his firehouse. So, they would meet up a lot, too, at calls. And then a lot of firemen in my family, too.
Yeah. Did you ever think you could consider being a firefighter?
I did at one point. I did when I was younger.
Yeah.
I did when I was younger. I thought about it a little bit. I told my mom. She absolutely lost it. And I'm like, it's just something I thought about it. Then I thought about volunteering. And I'm like, nah, not really my thing. But I'm very much in the community without being like it.
Yes. Absolutely.
Oh, you definitely are. Give me a time that you remember your dad made you smile or laugh, either something related to the fire department or not.
Oh my God. One really funny thing was on Halloween one year, he had this really weird, gross looking mask that was green. And everyone was trick-or-treating. And this was before we went out. And he was sitting on our stoop. And he kind of looked like a stuffed something, and he's sitting there with a bowl in his lap, and the trick-or-treaters came up to the porch, and I was hiding watching what was going on. They come up to the porch, and then he goes woo. They go jumping, they're freaking out. They thought that he was one of the decorations. He loved all kinds of like pranks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
which is
and the stuff
part of
that
the firehouse.
in the firehouse is kind of crazy. I did something to one guy one night. I took a quarter and put it on a string, and I wrapped it around the light above his bed.
Yeah.
So every time he fell asleep, I have the quarter come down and hit him in the chest. And he was just wigging out. What is the what? And we're all like, "What are you doing?" Like, you know, would you go? You know,
I'm gonna ask her a question.
yes,
All right.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So I know
I
I gotta jump in here when I can. He
Yes.
just spoke
Go
for
ahead.
3 minutes on my stuff. But I noticed that you it says here you wrote and published a book about your father's life.
Mhm.
What is the name of that book?
It's 9/11 Through the Eyes of a Daughter.
Okay. And what is one thing, if you could tell everybody right now,
Mhm.
what is one thing that you would want them to important thing you would want them to know about your dad?
Ooh. I honestly, with the book and everything, I just wanted everyone to know on a personal level his life. On a personal level, definitely, because there's 343 firemen alone. There's all these faces, but each one of them has their own story.
Yes.
So I really wanted to get his own personal story out there because they're just regular guys. They're like superheroes, but they're regular guys.
I love the way you said that because, I keep saying that like these were guys that coached the little league teams, made us laugh, did all those, people, and they belong up on a pedestal. But people put these, and they're all the heroes. That yeah, they are, but they were just regular guys who on a specific day did an unbelievable thing. The bravery. And your dad, let me give props to your dad. Dad being in a rescue company, okay, that means that your dad was brave enough to get on the job as a firefighter. And when I teach classes, I always look at the guys and I say, think about what you're doing. You don't always have to be the hero. Like, don't always run into some place first, because you're a hero already. You made a decision to choose a profession where you're a hero. But what your dad did was he said, no, that's not enough for me. I want to be the guy that rescues the firefighters when they get in trouble, that slides on a rope in the middle of Manhattan to take somebody out a window, that dives into the window. He went above and beyond the average firefighter.
Definitely.
So that says a lot about who your dad was.
Rescue man, and then I had him wrapped around my finger.
Oh yeah, forget it. Like my granddaughter and my daughters.
Exactly.
Definitely. All right. So you wrote the book. Let me see what else we got here that we want to talk about. Your dog, the dog.
Oh,
tell us before you bring the pooch in a little bit about, because we have another dog on the show tonight. So tell us about Max.
Okay, so Max, I grew up with a Dalmatian. My parents had a Dalmatian before I was born, so I was born into the household with a Dalmatian from day one. Oh my God, he was really overweight, way more than Max. And after we lost my dad, we believe that he passed from like a broken heart, and we waited until the 20th anniversary. We kind of figured, this is the time. We always wanted to get another Dalmatian, and here he is. Come here, Max.
Oh, he's here. Who brought him in?
My husband.
Does he want to stick his face in? Your husband, say hello.
He's shy. Max, come here.
All right, that's okay.
Come here.
Come here, Max.
Come here. Max, come here. Come here.
He's a pup?
Well, how old is he?
He's 3. Max, come here. Look, come here.
Come on, Max.
Max, come here. Come here. Look. Up. Say hi.
That's good. He's shy too.
Never work with children and animals. That's what they say.
What do you feed that guy?
I'm so sorry. That was going to take 30 seconds. I knew it.
I expected that.
It was going to last very long.
They're very, very energetic dogs.
Oh my God, I know. They're crazy dogs. Crazy dogs.
Yeah.
I'm around other people's dogs after him, and I'm like, wow, this is how a dog is really supposed to act. He wipes you out.
I have one more question, because I see here that you've done video calls with students.
Oh, yeah.
To help teach them about 9/11. Just tell me a little bit about that. How did that come about?
So I am friends with a few older firemen. One of them has a book. I'm blanking right now because I'm a little bit nervous.
That's okay.
So him and I were friends on Facebook, and he does some video calls with students, and then they would ask me if I wanted to be a guest also. So teenagers scare the crap out of me. So I'm on there, and they give me the list of questions, and I'm like, well, I got to get over my fear, because who better to hear this from than like one of the daughters or something, like on a personal level. So, helping teaching kids about 9/11, and I'm really passionate about it, even though I'm always nervous. But it's a great thing. And some kids have reached out to me just on their own through social media, where they had my dad's name picked for different reports, which is still so crazy to me, because it's just my dad to me.
Yeah.
What's a question they asked, if you could think of one off the top of your head? I don't want to put you on the spot, but what's something they asked you that surprised you that they didn't know?
A lot of things they surprised me that they didn't know. Actually, one of them is that they didn't know about the 93 bombing. That kind of surprised me.
That was on my birthday.
Really? That's my uncle's birthday too.
I was driving into Manhattan to go to High Lie in Connecticut with my wife. And back then, anyway, we're driving in, and all of a sudden, all these fire trucks into Manhattan. And I went, must be a large fire. Stopped by the firehouse to get my check, and never looked at the teleprinter where the calls come in.
Oh, my gosh.
Went to Connecticut, got in the hotel, and that's when I realized what happened.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, my dad was in the 93 bombing. He responded, and he wound up getting hurt. You know how Kevin Shea fell?
Yes.
My dad was with him and fell with him, but my dad was able to catch himself and pull himself back out of the hole. So he helped rescue Kevin, but he wound up getting smoke inhalation. He went to the hospital and all that, and he got injured. Yeah. But yeah, crazy.
No, Dad is definitely a hero 10 times over.
Absolutely.
And so are you, my dear, for speaking and doing what you do.
And keeping his legacy and his memory alive, and the memory of all the guys who are lost.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, yes. And we're I asked Tilly, because the reason I noticed her on Facebook is she's really cool with her video. For some old fart saying it, I guess she's really cool. She does all these videos. Really cool. So I said, man, we need some youth, right? We need some youth. So I said, hey, would you want to do some videos, maybe work with me on some cool stuff? So she said, I would love it. So hopefully we'll be doing some stuff together. And I also suggested that we do a show in her dad's name to raise some money for a charity he would have supported. Upstate. She lives upstate now. They moved.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You were in a barn today, in fact. Weren't you in a barn, you said, or something?
Oh, yeah, my barn. My barn is my bar. We actually, a lot of people send me all kinds of things. This is one of them. People send me all kinds of things for my dad. I'm like, wow, it's so beautiful. I appreciate everything. I love it all. I'm like, where do I put all of it? So we wound up doing like a little memorial bar in my barn. So we have that all set up. I'm like, wow, there's like finally somewhere to display everything.
Nice.
So it's like, it's pretty cool.
Well, I can't thank you enough for coming on the show. It was so nice to meet you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And I hope
it was great.
Moving forward.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
All right, Tilly. Say goodbye to Max. We'll see you, Tilly.
Farewell. Thank you for having me.
We're going to go to break, and we'll be back with Marquetta. Why do I have a problem with that name? Marquetta.
I don't know.
Hi, I'm Arthur Lee, founder, CEO, and inventor of LifeVac, a simple rescue device that could save a child's life in a choking emergency. All these people were saved with LifeVac. People may not realize that on average, 14 people a day die from choking-related incidents. Every 5 days, one of those is a child. As simple as place, push, pull.
To learn more, please visit lifevac.net.
Wait, we're back. We're back with our guest, Marquetta Jefferson.
And this cutie.
Grizzly.
Oh, my God.
I love having doggies on the show and stuff. I feel like a big-time show then. Like Johnny Carson used to have animals and stuff, Big time when you can have animals.
Well, I thought very briefly about really putting Marquetta to the test tonight.
What was that?
I was going to bring Lola. And if she could calm Lola, then you're a magician.
Where is she? See, you didn't put me on.
I didn't bring her.
I love challenges. They all know it.
Yeah. Well,
Next
I said
time.
something to John, and he said, "Well, you were bringing your dog," and it sounded like he didn't really want Lola here. So,
Well, no, I
get it.
didn't want. I
He's my
didn't want
dog.
our
I know,
guest.
I get it.
I didn't want our guest doggy, to get upset.
Nobody wants the Chihuahua. I understand. It's okay.
Well, I met Makita playing pickleball.
Yes, that's what happened.
And we hit it off, and she's a sweetheart. And she actually came to the comedy show that your daughter was on at the pickleball. But you were born in the Czech Republic. Now, for us people who don't understand geography, and
Morons.
stuff, yeah,
No,
where?
don't say that.
That's right. I've been called a lot worse. If I said you're gonna call me one thing, call me morons, because I don't know what's gonna come out of your mouth, Roseanne. Morons is fine. So where is that?
So Czech Republic used to be Czechoslovakia. Then it was Czech Republic, and now it's Czechia. They keep changing it.
Really?
For some reason.
I didn't know
I don't
that.
know why. But
it's the same. It's the same region.
Yeah. So Czech Republic is in the middle of Europe. I usually say they call it the heart of Europe.
And what's around it?
Surrounded by Poland, Germany, Austria, Hungary, Slovenia,
Okay.
Slovakia, and then the whole Europe.
They should stop changing it. Do you know how expensive it is to keep
Change
making
the
those
books.
changes in the history books?
From a teacher. Can't they just send like a thing that's
An email?
Yeah. All right. So now you moved at 18, which I guess a tougher age would have been like 13 through 15, but that's still.
Yeah, because the border kind of opened up in 1991, and I lived in communist the whole.
So it's a communist country.
Yes.
Okay.
So I always wanted to go to England, and then the border kind of opened up, and I had an opportunity to go to New York, and somebody from here actually called me. Do you want to come over, do an au pair?
Right.
I'm like, let me ask my parents.
Yeah.
And that didn't go well.
No.
So they didn't agree, but I really wanted to try. So I said, let me finish my school. I am originally a kindergarten teacher and special ed teacher.
Oh, wow.
And I said, let me finish the school and I will see what's out there.
Right.
And I didn't even go to a graduation party. I literally put my hiney on the plane and got here. And now I'm thinking like, oh my God, New York. I did not speak a word of English.
So brave.
So
right?
I come here alone and I'm thinking like, oh my God, Manhattan, Jackson is going to be there, Madonna. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to see them. So I go to JFK and they pick me up and drive me all the way to Long Island. And I'm like, what's this?
What's this?
Nobody ever told us that there's like Long Island.
Right.
There's something else than the
even Queens from Manhattan is so
Yeah.
different.
So it was really interesting, and it took me probably another 3 weeks to go to the city, and there was no Michael Jackson and no Madonna. Okay. So I was like, yeah, okay, totally different story.
Yeah.
But yeah, I learned English. I learned English from the Jenny Jones show.
The Jenny Jones show, because you hear
I
like
was just
some
gonna ask
people,
you.
right? Some people watch Friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I didn't know how, because there were no classes, I didn't know what to do, how to do it. So, and the 7-year-old boy I was taking care of, he was so frustrated. He was like, because he wanted to help with the homework. And I'm like, no.
But you have a lot of feedback happening.
Yeah, well, yeah. So
like you're in the toilet.
the big question is, what kind of pup is that? I think it's he's a Pomeranian, right?
Yes, he's a teacup-sized Pomeranian.
Teacup.
Teacup, yeah.
And everybody wants to know, did you drug him because he's so calm?
He is the best dog on the planet. He is high 24/7, but without any drugs.
Wow, there you go, guys. Pomeranian who is how old is he?
He is 8 years old.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
There you go, everyone.
His name is Grizzly.
So what I want to get to is, so the reason when I met you and what I found very interesting is you were a dog groomer, still are.
Yes.
But you have some actually additional training. Talk about that. What you do.
So when I came here, I couldn't really, I did everything on the planet just to pay my bills
Right.
and try to survive and live in the American dream. And you really name it, I did everything. And I really couldn't find anything that I really love. I have the passion. I knew I love animals, but it happened in actually Brooklyn when I was working for a rescue company. And we get this little tiny dog. It's called Barasch Animal Rescue. They are in Brooklyn and they foster dogs, and you take care of them, you train them, and then the family can pick them up. So I looked at the dog and I really loved the dog, and he couldn't see. So I took scissors and I started to like cut around. And I'm like, I actually like this. And I washed him and, oh, sorry, you good? I washed him, and that's when I like, okay, I kind of like this. So I started to do more with the rescues. And then I says, you know what? I want to do something with the dogs. And I actually look into veterinary technician and all that stuff, but that didn't really make the money I needed.
Right.
So I decided to go for a grooming school. I opened up my little studio, tried to groom dogs. And then I moved back to Long Island with my son, and I got a few grooming jobs. And you know, I tried to work myself up, and I work in animal hospital, which was really beneficial for me in Hapag, and they were very helpful and they taught me so many things. And I kind of was involved in surgery, just looking at everything. And I was like, this is it. I love it.
Wow.
And then I decided to open up my own business. So I opened up Grizzly and Bear Mobile Grooming. I name it after my two dogs. This is Grizzly, and the other one at home is Bear.
And that's
a psycho. You would never ever put your fingers close to that dog. That's why I take only this one.
I know. I just want to snuggle you.
Yeah.
You're so cute.
So now is it just you that works for the business, or do you?
So I actually opened up the business Grizzly Grooming, and I did it for almost 6-7 years. And now I graduated from holistic pet coaching, and I'm starting a new company. And I am trying to teach people pretty much what I say: you are what you eat, and the same goes for the dogs. And I am creating a line of treats and trying to promote healthy cooking for dogs and all that stuff. So actually, I decided to merge my company with my best friends. They own the Rough Life Mobile Grooming, and they are actually located in Massapequa.
Oh, wow.
And my friend Chris and Emily, his wife, she's Czech also. So I said, let's check and rock and roll. And we are trying to open up more, clientele in Suffolk, because they are located. I know you, but I know.
It says you're a certified holistic pet coach, CPR trained for animals.
Yes.
And pet massage.
Pet massage therapist.
So what could pet massage therapy do for my Chihuahua?
Yes. A crazy Chihuahua.
It's so funny because I had a lot of dogs that were out of control, like the Chihuahuas, and you are not able to really groom them. So I literally would take the dog, and you need to calm them down.
Right.
So there are some massages things that you can actually do, and you can really work on the body. And there are some spas that you can press, like acupuncture and stuff, and they calm down. And massage you can also use when they have back problems, when they have like arthritis. So you relieve the pain by massaging. So there's so much into massage and stuff that you can actually help the dog without, heavy medication and sedating them, on painkillers and stuff.
All right,
like
so
that.
when we're done with the show, you just got to show me that spot on the dog that calms him down immediately, so I can use it.
You're gonna bring her.
I'll show you the spot over here that calms me down.
Yeah, right there.
No, you had problems with your knee last time in pickleball.
Oh, I got the shots. I got the gel shots.
Okay. Did you try to acupuncture or not really?
No, I didn't. I mean, it helped me a great deal. Great deal. But if I sit a lot, I'll get.
You were running the steps, I remember.
Yes.
I know. Well, I see your whole thing on Facebook, because after we met at pickleball, and you got the prime shot of watching me and how bad I am at pickleball.
No, you're not.
I am. Don't be nice, because we're on TV. You be quiet.
Sorry.
But then we became friends on Facebook, so I kind of knew. So it's interesting to hear about what this all is because people with their pets.
Yeah, I mean,
They'll do more
Oh
with their
yeah,
pets
no,
than
they'll
their
be into
kids.
this.
I mean, I see a lot of things, and I am a crazy animal lover. I have 2 dogs, 3 cats, and I always think, oh, I'm not normal. But thank God I go to my clients, and they have 8 dogs, they have 7 cats. It's
people
like,
are
these
into their
are my
pets.
people.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to bring Butch back on. Butch lost his dog a few years ago. Oh my God, he loved that pup. So Butch gets it too, and we lost it. We lost the dog a few years ago, and my wife cried because it was a lap dog every night. Little Maltese.
Oh, yeah.
Was it not a Maltese? Whatever it was. It was a little.
Shih
And
Tzu?
every night, cry. And after about a month, I said to her, "There's no way you're going to cry this much at my funeral."
No.
I said to her, the only way you will cry this much if somebody brings a picture of that dog to my funeral. But it's true. Even the dog, freaking $6,000 for the leg. I mean, I have some insurance. And I said, if it was my leg or the dog's leg, and we only had money to fix one, I'd be limping around a long time.
You would be. The dog would come first.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah, that's how it is.
I tease my kids all the time about the dog, but I would literally do anything for her.
One thing, can you give our viewers one thing that you would say, here's what you should do with your dog every day or once a week? Something that will make the dog happier.
So
or pleasant.
I think the most important thing that people really should start to open up to is the food.
Yeah, that's true.
It's really getting worse in the industry with the dry dog food, the kibble. There are so many recalls.
Where should they buy their food?
So you really want to find the right diet, which could be a home cooked diet or the vet diet.
Mm-hmm.
You want to really stay away from the kibble.
Right.
And if you really want to stay with the kibble, I recommend do chicken broth, bone broth, and add moisture to everything. Try to stay away of medication like the Alpaquel, Cytopoint for allergies because it might solve the problem for a little bit, but you will end up with huge, bigger problems in the future.
Perfect. Where can we find you? Where can people find you if they want you to groom? Well, you're not grooming anymore.
I am grooming.
You're still grooming?
Yes.
All right. Well, use your services. Where are we going to find you?
I work in Suffolk, and we have wonderful girls.
No, I mean your website. Your website.
Yes. So my grooming website is online. That's the Rough Life Mobile Grooming.
Okay.
And we have 14 trucks as of now.
Oh, wow.
14?
14 trucks.
Wow.
Yes. Chris
Good
and
for
Emily
you.
have 3 trucks in Florida. They have few trucks in Nassau and Hamptons. And now we are starting to go around in Suffolk. I was in Hamptons last week.
Oh, yeah. Big money.
Unbelievable. It was totally
good for
different
you.
world.
Good for you.
So you are always welcome to go to Rough Life website to schedule appointment online actually. And I am actually still building my website because I paid somebody and it didn't go well. My holistic.
We got somebody who can help you. If you need it.
So as soon as I'm done, I will be taking appointments and having a lot of
very
labs
good.
and
All right,
Real quickly, that's Rough RUFF, correct? Rough Life?
the Rough Life Mobile Grooming. The Rough Life
Great.
Mobile Grooming.
Very good. Thank you so much for coming on and bringing the pooch.
Yeah,
You're
no,
awesome.
My pleasure. We finally made it.
And you are such an inspiration. You came over to this country and you did what you said you were going to do.
Yeah.
And you didn't speak any English and you learned. That's unbelievable.
And I'm still having a rough time
You
speaking
still have
English.
a tough time.
We'll be right back after this break. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Is everybody having a good time tonight or what? That's what I thought. All right, so we are live, Paradise Studios, New York. Give yourself a round of applause for coming out tonight.
Oh, we're back.
We're back.
Oh,
Look
back.
who-
I thought the commercial was
look
on
who
there.
I was able
We're
to
back. Yes.
snag.
She got the dog. She ripped off the dog.
I
Danny
did.
Calabrese is here. And behind us, I didn't say it this show, is my firehouse, Hazmat, my previous firehouse, Hazmat 1 Squad 288, where I lost 19 members on 9/11. Never forget. And this is one of the ways that we never forget. We put up the firehouse with the 2 rigs in front behind us. So, Danny,
how you doing?
Rich Walker recommended you, and we still called you to come.
I know. Well, I appreciate that.
You know, Richie said, this guy's good. I said, Richie, not again.
Rich.
Not again. But here you are. How long have you been doing stand-up?
I've been about a year out there.
A year?
Yeah.
If you're freaking funny in a year, I'm going to hate him, right? If he's funny in like a year.
Well, don't worry.
Like I'm 20. What am I doing? 33 years? People go to me, 33 years. Like maybe 2 years?
Yeah.
You know, they see me acting 2 years.
Like, when are you getting funny?
Yeah. So, what did you think of the show tonight, by the way?
Oh, it was fantastic.
Right? We had some great guests.
I can't believe that, you know, they had that she has so many Vans. That's an amazing feat.
I mean, from this girl, yeah,
That's an amazing thing.
It really
this
is.
puppy is just absolutely incredible.
He's adorable. He's stealing the show.
Cuddle ball.
He's stealing the show.
He is. He's adorable.
So, what made you? You know, how old are you?
I am 40.
Okay, so
I had to think.
That's a kind of age where people go when they get into comedy. You know, some people are out of college, they get into school. You lived. You had kids at the time at 40. No?
Well, yeah, I just had my first daughter. At the
Congratulations.
time. Yeah, I'm about a year and a half in.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
How's that going? Anything?
It's going. I mean, you know, I had to deal with I'm the daycare dad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like I had to do like pick up and drop off. And then my wife does pick up and drop off the other day.
Right.
And she goes, Danny, you're never gonna guess what I smelled in the teacher's breath.
What?
Bourbon. And I want to know what you're gonna do about it. And I said, what am I gonna do about it? At least we know we're gonna get it for Christmas, right?
Right. See, that's how guys think. That's perfect. Solves a problem,
Got the gifts
honey.
wrapped up.
That's so funny. Yeah. So kids, so you're working a job, and at 40 years old, you go. Did you make people laugh all the time? At
I made
parties, or-
people laugh all the time, mostly because of the way I look. It's hard. But I was in sales for a very long time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
important in sales. Comedy.
Yeah, and you know it's funny, but like my family's very encouraging. Like here's a great example. Like this week, I said to my mom, like, Mom, you know, I'm having trouble writing jokes for my act, and she said to me, "Oh, sweetie, that's because you're not funny.
See,
you should have your sister write your jokes. She's funny at least, right?
She gave you a reason.
Wait, does your mom know my mom?
Exactly." But yeah, so it's been a journey. I've been enjoying it very, very much, and it's been a dream of mine. And I'm trying to get out there, you know. But I have to deal with all these crazy people on a daily basis and taking care of the kid, and like my dad. Like I went over there this week, and I was like, Dad, you know, he's like, Dan, you want a pizza? I'll make you a pizza. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty good, right? So I turn around. He comes in with this big mess on a plate, right? And he's like, I'm like, what is this? And he says to me, well, I didn't have sauce, so I used ketchup.
Oh, no. He's not Italian.
He is Italian.
No,
Calabrese.
Dad.
And he didn't have American cheese. He didn't have mozzarella, so he used American cheese.
But you know, we can get around that. Just don't call it pizza. Like he said, I made you
He
cheese.
was calling it pizza. And I
made
said,
you a ketchup
Did
and
you get-
cheese sandwich.
I got a little bit like this, and I was like, you know, Dad, he says to me, you know, but the main ingredient is love. And I'm like, I don't even want to know what ingredient that is.
What is that?
What even is that?
That's funny. That's
so
funny.
yeah, it's been a crazy.
That's weird because I saw you were Irish and Italian, and you telling that story, and I'm like, that's definitely the
Irish,
Irish.
right?
No, that's Calabrese, which I get a lot of people say to me because of my last name, you know, because it means spicy on Italian menus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I had a barbecue. I love the barbecue.
Me too.
My big thing.
Me
right?
too.
I smoke everything on my Traeger.
Oh,
and everything
nice.
like that. But anyway, so a couple weeks ago, I had a barbecue. My best friend brought his new girlfriend over, right? And she comes out and she's like, you know, Danny, I love this thick Italian Calabrese spicy sausage.
Mm.
And my wife overheard, and she came over and she's like, "Yeah, it's more like flaccid spaghetti."
Always the wife coming in. Always the wife
But
coming
I
in.
love the Traeger. You smoke a lot of meats?
My son does. Well, here's something that gets me twitchy. Hopefully, my son's not watching because he gets pissed every time I say this. Time the stuff so everything is hot.
Yeah.
Don't cook something, put it on the foil,
Yeah.
go back to the grill and put.
Yeah.
Danny, I'll eat anything. I'll eat it the next morning cold. But if you're gonna spend all that money on that quality meat,
Yeah.
let's eat it hot.
Yeah, but you got to put it in like it's a resting phase. But I live in Farmingdale, and there's been a lot of like the people have been stealing these grills out of people's backyards,
Really?
right? So all of a sudden, one day I look out the window and I see this guy dragging something up the driveway. So I'm not scared, right? So I run out there and I tackle the guy, and it was my 85-year-old neighbor doing me a favor, taking out my garbage can. But Medicare covered everything.
They covered all. It was all covered.
We're okay. It's covered.
It was all covered.
Yeah.
That's funny. So what else? What else you got going on? We got about 3 more minutes.
So when did you start comedy? What made you start?
So I started at Stand Up University. I swear.
You know what their motto is? Their motto is, if Rich Walker can do it, you can do it.
I mean, he really proves that point.
Yeah, because people go, oh, I can do this.
Well, those guys at Stand Up University, there's a as far as like people out there, that Peter and Rich, they take care of their people. And
Peter is the best,
and
he's the
and
best.
Rich is not so bad either.
Richie's,
I gotta tell you,
Peter's
the two of them together, it's very funny to watch them. They encourage you every step of the way. They take care of you.
Did they have any fights over a punchline or something? Sometimes they have that. Yeah,
it's the most fun thing you could possibly watch.
Yeah.
Because their comedy is similar and different at the same time. So it's a blast.
I know Peter for 30 plus years. Peter taught my daughter in college.
Oh wow!
He teaches a history class.
Yes.
She took his class and she goes, "Oh, I need a good grade. We'll take Peter's class." She had to work.
Yeah.
And he said she was one of my best students, but she had to work. And when it was all said and done, she said that was one of the best classes. Because you can imagine Peter as a teacher, right? Yeah. Fun, but he's into it, man.
Oh yeah, he's into it, and he gets very deep into it. But so that's where I started, and it's been a ride. I've been loving every minute of it, and those guys took care of me really, really well. Yeah,
they're good guys. Richie still takes care of me, and I take care of him. That's what it's all about.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's what it's all about. So, any shows coming up?
I've got some stuff coming up in September. I've got I'm going to be at like the Meatball Place, I think, coming up in September.
Nothing better than a meatball.
Some dinner shows, and I know I work the Giggle Room often. So, but if you follow me on Instagram, it's Danny Calabrese 22. I post everything up. It's I'm out there doing my thing.
Excellent. Well, hopefully we'll have you on a Laughter Saves Live show one day. That's the pinnacle, like people say in Long Island, right?
That's like getting on Carson.
How did you feel after you did the first?
Oh my God! Oh God! My life changed after I did a Laughter Saves Live show.
$10 in a live show.
It changed. I couldn't get a date.
Before we go, guys, I just, we have people on the show, and sometimes right after they get off the air, they bail. Tilly, can you hear me? Look who hung out for the whole show.
It's our new social media.
Nice.
Yes. Thanks, Tilly.
Of course. I didn't know that you worked for Squad 288.
I did not. I worked in Hazmat.
In Hazmat? I didn't know that.
Yes, I was in Hazmat 1, Squad 288 is in the same quarters as Hazmat. Yes.
I just had one of the kids visit that their dad that was lost 9/11 that worked there. He just came and visited me like last week.
Who's that?
Iolpi.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, his dad was famous.
Yeah, he just came and visited me last week.
Yeah. I worked with his son. Yes, he was in Squad 288. Yes. So, Danny, thank you for coming in. We got 15 seconds. Do you want to throw anything out there? Say hello to anybody?
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
I am funny.
He is funny. He is funny.
Now he's in trouble because he chose mom over wife.
Yes.
What? Oh,
rookie
yeah.
move.
And wife. Yeah, and wife too. Thank you for co-hosting.
Thank you.
You
for
are the
having
best,
me.
Danny. Thank you.
Thanks,
Margetta.
Good to meet you.
Margetta.
And Grizzly.
And Chili. Good night, everybody.
Good
We'll see you.
night.
We're going to the diner. We're going over to the diner. Good night.